I like to play soccer, and maybe I'll get 5,000 women that like to play soccer. Fantastic, but so what? If that's all I have in common, it better be the World Cup all year round, or we're going to be in trouble. There's no click. There's nothing deeper than that. With eHarmony, everything's so to the core. I think you stand a much better chance of meeting someone you really connect with, and that's more important to me than anything, you know.
Review all your matches for free at eharmony.ca.
Step right up, enter the art game, step right up and experience the real-life twists and turns of the art world. Step right up.
Yeah, well, you heard him. Art lovers, step right up. The 12th annual Toronto International Art Fair is just about to get underway. It's Canada's leading fair for modern and contemporary art, and it showcases exhibits from over 100 galleries worldwide. Jelena Adzik is here with more on this. So what can people expect this year?
Well, what you can expect is to not be intimidated. It's overwhelming, but unlike going to a small gallery where people are maybe asking, yes, may I help you? And in that accent, I'm sure. Anyhow, it's just a different kind of experience. Imagine the home show for like furniture, but art. Now, to give you a sense of the variety here, I said it was overwhelming. These are cardboard cutouts, 3D. You've got traditional art, but then some psychedelic, more modern art as well. But then you've got these sculptural artists, and you can see them setting up because the show is actually opening tomorrow. We got a sneak preview today. And a lot of trend toward delicate pieces. There's, of course, photography. There are some pieces that are in there by Canadian Edward Bertinsky as well. And then large sculptural pieces, stuff that you would maybe see outdoors by city halls around the country. All in all, I got to talk about this one. This is a car that Andy Warhol painted. So, I mentioned Andy Warhol. Yes, you can see Andy Warhol's Picassos. There's also a lot of other major figures in the art world. But there's also a lot of people that you would never have heard of. So I'm talking about variety, and that's what makes this so fascinating. And the swath is not just across all of Canada, but international as well.
And so then is it accessible? Is the variety accessible for the average person?
Well, I'm not going to be taking that Warhol car home anytime soon, but to give you an idea, I mean, I did see a few pieces of art, for example, by Damien Hirst, a bunch of colorful dots, and it was going for around $40,000. Now, this is not by Damien Hirst. This is some of the other artists that are perhaps a bit more accessible and maybe a little bit more roughneck or avant-garde, but the point is there's everything. So we had a chance to catch up with one of the representatives from the show, and here's what she had to say about why you should care and also about how the show is set up into different sections.
This is the section where you come and you sort of discover those hidden talents, those hidden gems, and then you follow those artists' careers, and perhaps over time they become the Damien Hirsts and the Andy Warhols of the art world.
I have to say, Rishmi, I really enjoyed the show because there's just so much, and I think there is something for everyone, so it's wonderful.
You should commit a few days for it, though, yes?
It's intense.
All right,
yeah.
Thanks, Jelena.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to that growing disaster in Thailand right now. The country's prime minister says Bangkok is fighting the forces of nature. Floodwaters are forcing thousands from the city right now. The water's making roads difficult to pass, and gas is hard to get. Many residents have to escape on foot or any way they can, really. That water's shut down one of Bangkok's airports, the one used for domestic flights. More than 370 people have been killed since this flooding began. Tropical storm Rina is weakening, but still causing travel chaos. The hurricane was downgraded to a tropical storm as it swept towards Mexico's Caribbean coast. Tourists have abandoned Playa del Carmen, Cancun, and other resort towns. Low-lying residential areas along the Yucatan coast were evacuated. This morning, the rain had eased, but the sea was choppy. Ships to Cozumel were not running, and docks are closed. Now, Nick Srnkovic is tracking Rina. So, Nick, what's the latest here?
You know, Rina, as you mentioned, really kind of weakening over the last 24 hours. This one's sort of throwing forecasters through a little bit of a loop, I guess, because it went from being a tropical storm and was forecast to be just barely a Category 1 storm, and then all of a sudden this thing exploded. It was almost a Category 3, and then it just dissipated as quickly as it strengthened. So now a tropical storm kind of making its way toward landfall. Good news, of course, for a lot of coastal communities. Their storm surge expected expect it to be on the order of about 1 to 3 feet above normal as it makes its way past the coast. Still look for some heavy rainfall, though. It still has areas like Cancun in its sights, although, again, a much weaker storm. And the history of this thing, not just now, but the history of it has actually been to be pretty compact. So that's all good news, because it sort of lessens the area damage. But nevertheless, still a lot in the way of rain, thunderstorms, and a little bit of storm surge as well. That whole system pushing off. Interestingly, tropical storm force winds up to 110 kilometers per hour. That's the same wind speed that we saw yesterday, at least in terms of the gusts, across Newfoundland, all thanks to that low that's moving off the coast. Now, Newfoundland, no stranger to windy conditions, but this is a particularly bad storm, mid-60s, 65 millimeters of rain across parts of Newfoundland yesterday. Some snowfall in there as well, and there's more to come. Still pretty windy out across the coast. Winter storm watches in effect still across the Avalon. Now, this is another system approaches, and it's going to start out as rain, and then it's going to turn over to a little bit of snowfall, especially through the higher elevations. That same system still back south of us at this point, moving through New England. Now, good chance we may see a few delays here across areas through the U.S. Northeast. There is actually some snowfall across areas in the higher elevations through the Appalachians. Look for rainfall to move through Nova Scotia through tonight, just kind of clipping past PEI. And then as we move through tomorrow morning, it starts as rain showers across the Avalon, moves through as rain, and by the afternoon, it's going to switch over to snowfall in those areas as well. Now, it's all part of the same system that brought snowfall back into Colorado yesterday, and still bringing snowfall across the Texas Panhandle as well. So it's not just us, they're getting it down south as well. Here's your forecast for tomorrow then. Rain showers on the west coast, still some wind warnings in effect for tonight on the west coast. Otherwise, generally sunny, save for that system on the east.
The weather update is brought to you by Cold Effects. Be prepared this cold and flu season with clinically proven Cold Effects.
To us, insurance is about people. People and Mr. Jiggles. So when something bad happens, you can count on our 24/7 claim service to help you get back to your quiet Sunday drives. Your home, your auto, your business. Ask your broker about Intact Insurance Company. Intact Insurance, you're back.
This cold and flu season, be prepared with clinically proven Cold FX. It helps reduce the frequency, severity, and duration of cold and flu symptoms. Cold FX. There is no substitute.
At the beginning, I saw the doubt in their eyes. But I went ahead and did it. And today, when they congratulate me, I see only one thing in their eyes: pride. And that's my greatest satisfaction. I did it.
Talk about it with your doctor or other healthcare professional. There's Champion.
Windstorm Resources is focused on gold-silver exploration in Mexico. With industry-renowned management, projects near Goldcorp's Peñasquito mine, and in the heart of an exciting new discovery play in Puebla State, Windstorm is positioned for success.
Proceed straight ahead. Recalculating.
Trying to save money?
Proceed straight ahead. Recalculating.
Walmart has Nexen winter tires starting at $39. Walmart. Save money, live better. Trying to save money? Walmart has Ultimate X wiper blades, $15. Walmart. Save money, live better.
I'm 50, and living life to its fullest is my focus. So I switched to a multivitamin designed for me.
One A Day Women 50 Plus is made with calcium, vitamin D, and more vitamin A. And vitamin A helps maintain eyesight, skin, and immune function.
Just what I'm looking for.
One A Day Women 50 Plus.
This cold and flu season, be prepared with clinically proven Cold FX. It helps reduce the frequency, severity, and duration of cold and flu symptoms. Cold FX. There is no substitute.
Still ahead, musician Raffi joins us live. He was so inspired by Jack Layton's final letter that he wrote a song based on it. He'll perform it for us coming up. Nicole Termel reacts to the addition of 30 new seats in the House of Commons. We'll bring that to you live. And scary costumes are a big part of Halloween, but not at some schools. They're banning the outfits. First, though, our top story.